there, but we're doing it. All right. We are live on YouTube for our first time on YouTube.
Yay! Hi, YouTube.
Hello, World Sleep Day. Hello, Helen was sleeping in Seattle. Did you read that article that I sent to you that Seattle is the second best city to sleep in?
I agree. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I like sleeping here every night.
I know it definitely got its coined phrase here. Well, we are talking today about focusing on women's health. It's March. And so that is one of the focus that we have in our country, maybe throughout the world. Isn't it International Women's Month?
International Women's Day is later, and then of course it's also this week is dedicated to sleep, World Sleep Week. And
Yeah.
so March 15th is World Sleep Day, but we are in the thick of it with events for World Sleep Day and this year's slogan, Sleep Equity for Global Health. So we're chatting about something that affects half the population, and yet it doesn't necessarily get the attention it deserves. So we're giving it a little bit of a spotlight today.
Especially with perimenopause and menopause. And so one of the things, I'm Barbara Badolati,
All
uh,
right, introducing ourselves.
author of Sleep Blissful, Natural Ways to Fall Asleep, Stay Asleep, and Wake Refreshed, along with coaching and many, many other talents.
I am Helen Sernett. I host a podcast called Sleep Lists, where I list you to sleep one curated list at a time. You can check it out at sleeplist.com.
Awesome. I love that pitch. Good
Yeah,
job.
just rolling
Love
through
that.
it. I've been saying
Yeah.
it a lot more lately. I've been trying to like make my mouth do the movements.
Yeah. Well, we're focused on perimenopause and menopause, and that's a mouthful as well. And what we want to entertain today is this notion that whatever you're going through with this particular change of life is an opportunity to heal or reparent or embrace maybe something that you didn't have that opportunity when you were in puberty. So here's this notion of what you're going through now could be a reflection of what you went through going through that change of life, which was puberty.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the idea of like you might have back then felt trapped or confused or uncertain, and you have this opportunity now as like during this sort of check second huge hormonal transition in your life to take control of it. I know for me, I definitely felt like I was prisoner to my body. Like it had control over me. I did not have control over it when I was going through puberty. And so my transition now, I am working really hard to have control over and understand my body and give it what it needs, nurture it, love it, but not in a situation where I feel like it's my captor or I'm trapped inside my body and I don't like what's happening to me.
Yes, and in ancient times, going through puberty and also even through menopause was really a time where other women would care for that person.
Yeah.
And, because we don't feel good. The hormones are changing, our physical bodies are changing, all of it. And so to be nurtured and given tea and foot rubs and baths and just that was that culture, that was that experience. And yet many of us in the 2021st century didn't have that or still aren't having that. And so even though there's the challenges with perimenopause and menopause, we really get to have permission with communication and our own self-care, self-love to be able to take a bath, take a nap, say no to things, realize that we just are not feeling as good as we want to. And then we'll talk about some things too that can.
Yeah. Well, and I want, folks out there that feel like they're alone or like, what the heck is going on with me? Like, we're here for this. Like, we are here to say you're not alone. all of us women go through it. Like, let's lift each other up and help each other out. And not everyone's experience is the same. It's sort of like they say every pregnancy is different, or, everyone goes through puberty a little bit different. Everyone goes through menopause a little bit differently, or through perimenopause, and achieves menopause, right? Menopause is it's like one date, right? We should address that. We should address perimenopause versus menopause and what it is,
Okay.
because not everybody might know.
Okay.
Um, so I'll just say perimenopause is kind of like the process of the transition. It's like as things are starting to change, and then menopause gets to be like the date that you arrive at when it's been a year since you've had any menstruation. It's like you can celebrate it as a birthday if you want. It's your croning day, like however you want to embrace menopause. It's kind of like a day, whereas perimenopause is the whole period of transition that happens in advance of it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And the other thing is this too shall pass. So
Yes.
all of the symptoms that people have, that is normal. And like you said, it can be a whole range. And we learn a lot from our other women friends. We learn a lot from women that have already gone through this. And there's always more things on the marketplace that could maybe support us as well, from cooling sheets and pillows. In fact, the Twillo pillow that is in the giveaway for Instagram, I put my handle down by my name. And one of the things is this self-cooling Twillo pillow. So there is a lot of things to support us. We just really wanted to give you the insight as to how can you nurture yourself, and especially in that perimenopause when you're going through those. And then maybe there is, when this too shall pass, a
Right. Well,
celebration, because you probably didn't get that in puberty.
no, and there's no magic date when you're done with puberty. It's just like all of us. Sometimes it's like, oh, you're 18 or whatever, but like that's not true for everybody. Whereas like with menopause, we actually have sort of like a very, if you've tracked your cycles and if you've tracked your bleeding, you have a very specific date that you can sort of arrive at and celebrate if you want. But also, yeah, just that idea of your you don't have to just like power through and knuckle down this, like, because it can be it will pass, but it can be a whole 10 years. So giving yourself the ability to go with grace and allowing yourself to get sleep so that you are in a better position to help your body overall throughout the transition.
Yep. And most complaints are people are not sleeping because
Right.
of all the different hormonal changes and so on. So, one of the things we want to invite you to maybe experiment if you drink alcohol is to just stop. See if you can actually go maybe a month without any alcohol. We'll talk about coffee, about all that too. But I do find the more clients and people I talk to, they say when I stopped with the alcohol, I did notice an improvement in my sleep. The hot flashes ceased. So we wanted to invite you to.
Alcohol and hot flashes were a huge thing for me, and they are for a lot of women. And it can be so frustrating because, like, that was my tool for winding down at the end of a day. Like, and I needed my tool more, and yet the tool was the problem. And so, now in my life, I don't use that tool. It's not a hammer time in my life. It's like a screwdriver time. And I got to find, and that doesn't mean glass of wine goes to glass of vodka. That means, that means
That's
that
what I
I
thought. I was like, oh no.
that I have a different tool in my toolbox that I use to help myself calm down. And for me, that's been music and like soothing, comforting music. I use music a lot actually, both on the waking up side of things and on the calming down side of things. And just finding a music that really helps me rest, relax, and kind of do that thing.
Yeah, and again, we talked about this every single month in that you need to communicate. So prioritizing yourself, recognizing what you're going through, and that your body needs super focus of attention and very nurturing. So those restorative poses, those naps, those I need to play some music. Please give me, the afternoon. All of those things that you can communicate, even to yourself. I had a really full day on Sunday. And even though it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I thought, you know what? I don't really need a nap. And again, this is, whether it's menopause or in any time of your life, I was like, I'm just going to lay down for 10 minutes on my acupressure mat
Mm-hmm.
and put on my headphones and just listen to some music. And sure enough, I could just feel like everything melting and then that energy coming, restoring back. And then I was able to have nice dinner and proceed. So, what are some things that, the music is there, the naps are really important. Anything else that we can share?
Restorative poses. I mean, I will double down on that every day of the week. In fact, I've and sometimes it's not just at night or like for me it's yoga in the morning. Like you could do restorative yoga in the morning. It's okay. And it helps. But like for me, yoga in the morning and just that like centering of myself on the mat and getting those like that breath work in, and then that really helps me for the rest of my day be a lot less the brain fog that folks talk about with perimenopause, or, baby brain, sometimes people call it. Like I definitely felt baby brain come back all of a sudden when I was getting older. And the yoga has really helped with that. And then
I want
also
to share this. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna, the yoga's really helped with that. And it's it's not like you don't have to go to a class, you don't have to like get into like funky outfits or anything. It's literally like sometimes I don't even get my mat out. I just go through like a couple of poses and some centralized breathing, like just centering myself to breathe and focus on my breath and just my breath, and that has really helped clear my mind so that I can be a better human at humaning.
So what we know now about epigenetics and that the brain and the heart and the body are constantly communicating. And so I always go to languaging too. So let's just talk about that brain fog or forgetfulness that can sometimes happen. People pin it on age or menopause or whatever. And one of the things that I've suggested to my clients is how could you reframe that? For instance, when a thought escapes my brain or the answer to that or the name of that, I say, because it's out there somewhere, it's floating around in because we know everything is energy. So I say, sometimes even out loud, come back, come back, versus, oh, I don't even know what people say
Well,
anymore
that
about
negative self-talk, right? Like that idea that it's my fault.
or it's like, oh, senior mom, what? No, stop that. Stop it. And so I'm like, come back, or sometimes I'll say, angels, show me where my glasses are, right?
Right.
Sure enough, I mean, it is quite another thing you could experiment with. And sure enough, the thought will come back. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what I meant to say was, And so that's just another a suggestion of how to manage your life
Yeah.
and not to get trapped in these cycles that society and other people have programmed us, that we know everything is energy. We know that we can take care of ourselves. We are living in a time, especially in our Western world, where we have more availability, more time, more insight and knowledge. My mother, she was not going to take a bath. She was raising 4 children as a single parent. Sometimes she would go step in a bucket of ice water to try to cool herself down. But, so we really are fortunate in that we can do things like this, even if it's just our thoughts.
Yeah, well, and just being kind to yourself is such a help for your own resilience, your own sort of stress management. The other day, I mean, I thought I was getting pretty good at this, like being kind to myself thing. And then the other day, I said something, and Matt was, and said it out loud to Matt, and he let me finish my thought and like kind of get on with it. He's like, "Okay, yeah, but I need you to re-say that whole thing in a way that I don't want to punch you if you were somebody else talking about yourself like that." And I was like, oh my God, did I really just like insult myself like 3 times in a row and not even realize it? And my husband was like, yeah, you kind of did. And like, honestly, I would kick somebody else out of the house for talking about you like that. So, like, you just have to redo it. And I'd redid it and I was like, oh, that does feel better. Like,
Yeah, just that love and compassion. And when we circle back to our puberty years, we might not have had such a loving, compassionate, kind. So, again, this is your opportunity. So, rather than toss and turn and be angry and upset, ask yourself as you would your inner child, what do you really need right now? Yes, I know you're miserable. I know that this is uncomfortable and you're lacking sleep. Maybe that happened when you had your infant. Maybe it happened because you were bullied at school when you were going through puberty. I mean, we all have these situations, and we are empowered enough to, like you, be conscious of it, maybe self-reflect, maybe somebody else is reflecting it back, and then take action, even if it's just a small step. It could be your diet, it could be the alcohol, maybe you have had too much caffeine, maybe there's other things that you can do to mitigate those, and maybe talk to your physician. I mean, for me, there was about 2 years where I was so miserable. And I went in hormone replacement therapy, and it was amazing. I remember thinking, this feels so good to have estrogen again. Oh my gosh. I, I feel so like myself, and I have a libido, and I have, you know what I mean? Like, I was so happy, and it was just enough to kind of move me through that. So, that may be a remedy as well.
yeah. And I think it's really thoughtful. I'm really glad that you found somebody who helped you in that way. And sometimes it's how we approach it. A lot of the symptoms of perimenopause can feel like other things, right? So they can feel like a mental health issue or some sort of thyroid issue or some sort. So you can start to go down these paths to treat a whole bunch of other stuff when it's really just like you're in adult puberty. Like you've come to the other side of puberty. It's like the mere reflection of puberty. And you don't have to power through, but it is helpful if you have a physician who can look at you as a whole person and say, hey, you're in your 40s or 50s, and so maybe this is maybe even though you're telling me you're having all these issues with memory loss or brain fog or you can't sleep and you think you just need sleeping pills, like maybe maybe it's like a hormone thing and we can look at that. And if you don't have a physician that says that to you, you can say that to the physician. Um,
And your hormones are changing all the time, every single day. So if you get tested one day, it's not going to be necessarily the same tomorrow or later on. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. You might find that magic formula, but it may not be appropriate for the whole 30 days or
yeah.
28.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it might not be appropriate for all 5 years of perimenopause. It
Yeah.
might continue to need tweaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, that was the case. And again, it was only a couple of years, and then it just wasn't effective anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, again, listen to your body, honor yourself, do everything that you possibly can, be compassionate, know that maybe there's something that you experience through puberty that now you could have a more loving, kind experience of this particular change in your life.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm trying really hard to be super enthusiastic about it because I have so much cool stuff ahead of me. And so I don't want to think of it as, while it might be the closing of a chapter, I don't want to think of it as a sad ending. It's really just opportunity for new beginnings and new energy in my life, if you will. And so, yeah, I just there are all kinds of things that you can do from, having fans blowing on you to, like you said, the sheets and like there's lots of coolers. There's plenty of like products available, but no one can love you better than yourself. And so listening to yourself and loving yourself and really giving yourself like the breathing room to have a little bit of change, right? Your body is going through a change. It might mean your schedule in your life needs a different change too. Your hours of sleep could change. When you eat, take your meals can change. Like these things can help you navigate your whole change, and just be open to that experience. Otherwise, it can feel like you're white knuckling it through a really long transition.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we explored this particular aspect and invited people to maybe reshape their thinking about it. And your body is changing. So the belly and other aspects, your skin. And again, maybe just this conversation can invite in more acceptance. And again, not be so hard on ourselves because we're also reflecting to girls that are going through puberty and young women and women that are pregnant. So, what if we were the generation that invited a new perspective on this chapter of our lives versus looking at aging and menopause and all of it to be so negative or uncomfortable?
Well, and yeah, I mean, it is uncomfortable in your own body because you're like you said, you're going through those changes, but it doesn't have to be shameful. It shouldn't ever be shameful, honestly. And you should understand, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise either, right? Like we've known it was coming. Like, and it's a good opportunity to um like really embrace it, really like let it flow. I tell my daughter all the time, like our bodies change throughout our entire lives. And so like if my arms are changing and my belly is changing and I'm getting a little bit of more wrinkles, like these are all just opportunities to find different clothes. Like I love it.
Well,
Like
let's share with people what we're going to be giving away. I know we're kind of coming up to 25 minutes.
it's
So,
exciting.
yeah, do you want to share about Sleepless?
Yeah, I'll talk about Sleepless, and I don't know if you have a screenshot of the giveaway to share? If you can get that going on
Oh
your other
yeah,
screen and maybe
I will
share the
share
screen.
this. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I can do this, but yeah, I think this is showing. So anyway, go to Instagram. My page is, or my handle is my name, Barbara_Badolati, and there's over $300 worth of gifts. And this is what we're doing for Sleep Week with the Sleep Bundle giveaway, the Twillo pillow, which again is an adjustable pillow. I love this pillow. You can wash it. It's just amazing. And then Cafe Life, which is about living life to the fullest. And Kiki is from Greece, and she's got the sleep mask and also this beautiful balm that you can rub all over your body that will help to for you to fall asleep. And then I have the Sleep Blissful Bundle, which is the evening wind down, it's the morning rituals, it's insomnia remedy, it's rest and restorative yoga poses. There's over 20 videos plus the book. So that is what I am encouraging people to go to my Instagram and sign up for the giveaway because you could be the winner.
Yeah, and I am encouraging folks to visit sleeplists.com and or to search for sleep lists on their favorite podcasting application. And that way they can use sleep lists as a tool to wind down, especially helpful when you're in bed and you're having those like recurring thoughts that are just going, 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 which we know that kind of anxiety plagues women during their transition. It certainly did me. And so, yeah, that allows us, oh, look, you got that going. Yay. That's it.
I
That's
did.
it. And then you stick
It
out
goes with our
episodes.
yeah, it goes with our colors this month.
It
Awesome.
does.
And
Yeah.
then what are we doing next month? What's going on there?
Oh my gosh. So next month is April and we have you know what? I've completely blanked. I need that thought to come back to me.
Come to me, come to me. I've got it right here. It's April. I think we said April Tuesday. It's always a Tuesday. And I
Yep.
think we said April 9th. So
Yeah,
same time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific. And yeah, we're gonna like delve into probably some spring
time. We talked about time, right?
time and natural time. And we just had a time change in the US. So yeah, what we want to get back to natural time as much as possible, which is in connecting with our circadian rhythms, and that will help us to also have enough quality and quantity of sleep.
I'm
Yeah,
so excited to
I'm
talk about
so glad we tried this on YouTube. Send us
Yeah.
comments, you guys. You know to subscribe and all that stuff if you want to. And I will see you next month, Helen. I'll see you in
Yes, we'll
Seattle.
see you back again. See everyone back to sleeping in Seattle.
Bye, everyone.